Mr. Gbenga's Hard Drive is a film I think every Nigerian filmmaker should see because I think it's a lesson on how to make an interesting style out of the worst of our challenges. When Chukwu directed his first feature film, he had a near zero budget. So if you want to make your first feature film but haven't done so because you don't have the money, you just might realize that your excuse doesn't hold water after listening to this episode. You know what else Martin didn't have? A perfect script. So, what's your excuse? Yes, Martin is a director, but he's also an actor and writer. He calls his films plays, and in particular, he calls his feature film a rough play. Couldn't be more apt. As you listen, I hope you find our conversation every bit as intriguing as I did. Martin, Chukwu, you're welcome to this podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today.
And I'm glad to be here. Good evening.
Well, we don't know what time people are listening, so you could.
Well, we don't.
Well,
of course, we don't know when. So, Good morning, good evening, and good night.
Yeah, exactly. So, my first question is: how did you find yourself in the film space? What brought you to filmmaking?
What brought me to filmmaking? I think seeing my brother perform or rehearse in his room. I grew up seeing him talk about his church dramas and all, and I got to be in his first. He's a musician, so I got to be in his first music video. So the first time I appeared on screen was a music video, a Christian gospel music video, and seeing all that process, I was like, "What are these people doing?" Like, that was my first introduction to film, to anything film, to the gospel music video. So I think that inspired me somehow, probably unconsciously, because I didn't really give it much thought. But yeah, so that was my first time on a film set, and then after that, theater took me, and as an artist, you can't run from experimenting or experiencing with different mediums. So as a theater student, I still picked up the camera that my friend had. I would still shoot something. So yeah, from there, I just had this journey, that this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be an artist from stage to screen to painting, anything. I'm just going to go there. So yes.
Fantastic. What was your first short film, and what was it like making that?
My first short film. I shot a lot of films, short films, experiments. I call them experiments. My first short film I can recall making, but I say is my first, is a story about a man who just we see him in the house dressing up, he wears a suit, carries his bag, and then heads out into the street. So on the way, he just keeps bumping into people. I'm wondering why he keeps bumping into people. Till he closes for the day, he goes home, and then we see in his bag, he brings out a lot of phones. So he's a pickpocket. He brings out wallets, phones, different things. So he's a pickpocket. That's his job. And all the phones that he has stolen begin to ring all at the same time. So, but I didn't make it like I said it right now. The film didn't come out like this. This is like the ambitious filmmaker saying this thing or writing this script or having this idea, and I didn't have a script for it anyway. But yeah, that was my first film, and I shot it, and it was horrible.
I know almost every filmmaker says that. But what year did you make it?
Yeah, 2013.
You said 2013?
2013.
Wow. So, I mean, yes. I know you've made a lot of short films since then, but your first feature film is Mr. Gbenga's Hard Drive, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Why didn't you make a feature film sooner?
Because I've been experimenting mostly, and the thought of having to play around ideas for an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, 30 minutes, or 20 minutes just didn't give me the energy to make film, because I want to make films on the go. I want to be making films. I don't want a film that would hold me down and, probably take my time. Instead of making short films and experimenting, I'm here making just one film and trying to push the story to an hour or so. So that didn't give me, short films kept me going. They kept me experiencing life and the ideas that I have in my head. Yeah, it just keeps me going. But with Mr. Gbenga's hard drive, it was an understanding of those short films and the way I make them and the way I now want to make a feature film. So the idea that came was, okay, if I can make a short film of say 10 pages or less in a day, if I add up that, and that gave me probably some minutes, if I add up another few pages and few moments, I have up to an hour. And if I spend a day in a character's life, that's 24 hours. And I just need 1 hour of that person's life. So what do I do to make my films the way I made my short films, and to still have that energy, that passion that came with that short film, those experience to happen. And that's how Mr. Gbenga's hard drive happened.
Wow. So in fact, I'm really curious about the development process for that film. Where did the idea come from? How long did you spend from working out the concept to completing the screenplay?
Okay. Well, it's quite a dangerous something to do, I would say, because many people will not fall into it. So I've had the idea. I've shot Mr. Gbenga's hard drive before as a short film, and when I made it into a short film, it was that same issue of, okay, now we're in post, and then we see one slight mistake, and then we try to shoot it again, and it never ever happens, and then the film is just gone. That's what happened with the short film. We saw a slight mistake, and then we tried to fix it in post, and probably reshoot the scene, and the film never saw the light of day. So moving that into Mr. Gbenga's hard drive. So after like 2 years ago, I shot it, and I had Mr. Gbenga's hard drive. Somebody said she wanted to make a film. And I said, let's make a film. We are here in Ibadan, we can make a film. So I gave her an idea I had of Mr. Gbenga's hard drive that I had before. It was incomplete because it's a short film. So what I did was I found another short film I had an idea of, and I mixed the two of them together. So we have a plot A, we have plot B, and then I put it all together, and then we have a 15-page script for the feature film. So the idea came the idea came and we shot in a week. I didn't
Wait. You're telling me that from going from ideation to the shoot was 1 week? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. When we had the idea, we were going to shoot the next week. So, and we shot the film in 3 days. So the preparation was mostly and the film is heavily improvised. It's a 15-page script, and I want an hour, few minutes. So how do I still tell my story with improv, with these actors and situations that we have around us? And that was how we kept progressing each day to add up scenes. There were so many scenes that were added impromptu. There were so many scenes that were shot that you see that are improvised. Like we just saw something happening, and we just started recording those events.
Wow.
So yes, that was the development process to the making of the film, and the making of the film is another thing entirely, I must say.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get to that. But I mean, I got a sense of why you called it a rough play, but now I'm beginning to understand even better. So I really want to know. I know you call your short films plays, right? So why do you call this particular film a rough play?
Okay. I call my first of all, I decided to call my films plays as a homage to theater.
Mm.
You know, the birthplace of my craft. So I decided to pay homage to that and call my films plays. And because I realized that actually all we do is play. I mean, that's basically what film is to me.
Yeah.
Is the medium is the playground, and you are here to play. So what are you playing with? What equipment are you playing with? What are you doing in this playground? So rough play is actually like films. Most films that I make that I know that are doing the Erikmalanche, we are playing in Yoruba.
Yeah.
Like in theater, we'll say it's a ruku, something you just made up. But in the professional sense, it's improv.
So I mean,
Yeah.
I love the concept of a rough play and everything, and even the feel of the film. It came across, in the feel of the film. So my guess is it also influenced the cinematography style that you went for and everything.
Yes. It influenced everything. It influenced the way the characters dressed. Yes, and you see that the security guy. I mean, those are not. That's like, and it's a satire. The film is a satire.
Yes.
I'll give. So many characters are just very underdressed or just play stupid and wasting time. The security job there was just a waste time, really. So yeah, influence. I mean, there was no. We shot even when there was generator sound. We shot when the sound we felt was bad. We shot when, whether it was dark now or it was then sunny, we shot. We kept going. So I was always on the cinematographer, Father Mana Okwong. He's I think he's one of the best that I've worked with. And if you see his other films to this, you see a big difference. So he's a director of photography that is always willing to change, to whoever he's working with. He understands their vision and then he goes with it. And he understood the vision of this and he went with it. With his zoom in and his zoom out, make it very more like a documentary.
Yeah.
And just play it. And I enjoyed the process. I enjoyed it because it feels like I'm breaking all the rules. I'm breaking that. I'm making a statement that films, you can make a film, because we face a lot of challenges in Nigeria making films.
Yes.
I mean, I just finished a series, and we've come here to wreck before, and then we enter, and then there's generator sound somewhere. And there's not just one, there's one, there's two, there's three, all over, and then you can't shoot. So the film is like, no, why can't I shoot? I mean, these are part of the challenges. So you probably see us frame the generator noise, generator somewhere, and then add it to the film, to show that the generator is somewhere.
And the funny thing, I noticed in that part of the film, but I didn't mind it at all. I mean, first off, this is Nigeria where we hear generator sounds all the time. I was thinking about, Yoruba films and how it feels like sometimes they forgot to bring a tripod along or something. Because the footage is always shaky and everything, and it gets distracting. But I mean, here the style it felt more deliberate, and it just went with the flow of everything. And it got me thinking about how if we could just be so much more deliberate about our storytelling, we look at as limitations, they don't really have to matter.
Yes, I believe so. Because if you'll be more focused on the story and how, without minding every other thing around it. I think I usually feel those things are distractions. I mean, I see some sets. Well, I'm not. I mean, they are very good too. I mean, setting up for hours and hours is good.
Yeah.
You know, but if eventually you set up for 20 hours
Mm-hmm.
and the scene is still very bad,
Yeah.
so what's the point?
That's all the point.
So you see many productions. They'll set up for hours. Put the lamp stand here. Oh, put bedside lamp. Light the scene properly. Everything. The focus player is on guard. Everybody is blah 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 blah. And then action. And then you're seeing on screen some very wacky performance. You know, you forget the performance. Yeah, the performance. You focus on the technicalities and forget the performance. You know, and this usually affects the actor's psyche. That's another thing on its own. You know, so but yeah, so the film is a statement to say just keep going, just keep going, just keep going, just keep pushing these characters anywhere you see them, and you feel that situation will take that character. Whether there are 10 generator sounds that you shoot that scene, and we still get the same feeling that we want from that performance. You know, we can. It's about the performance. Then every other thing adds to it. But if we don't get the truth, the soul in that character, if you like, all for the generator sound, add everywhere, and you know, light it up as much as you want, you still get a soulless experience.
Yeah.
There's nothing you feel.
Which is a problem with a lot of films today, to be honest. They lack soul. So I'm curious, what was your budget?
Well, the way I work, I shot another film like that some weeks ago, and I shot in 3 days too.
A feature.
But this one had some lights. Yes, a feature film. This one had some, you know, light setup and all, but I still try to break it down as much as possible. So my budget, back to budget. So I call friends together, and nobody collects any money from me because I'm collaborating. So I have, hey, you have camera now. I'm shot with black magic. So I say, okay, you have camera now. Then I think the only person I paid on set was the sound man.
Okay.
You know, and every other person there was our friends. And we just said, let's make a film. And everybody came together and said, I believe you, and I appreciate them for believing that we can make something out of nothing. Less is more, I believe. So the budget for that film was around 50,000 naira.
Wow. Guys, you can make a feature film with 50,000 naira.
Okay, maybe when I say 50, it becomes to, okay, let me say 100. So maybe at least, so let me say 100.
Miscellaneous.
Like people not say 50. Yes. But yes, 100 is still something fair. And I think that's like the biggest, the highest I've shot, even a short film with. I've never shot a short film with 100,000 naira.
So where did much of that money go apart from paying the sound guy?
Just food.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that would treat people nice and well. So food and transport, basically.
Okay, that makes sense. So I mean, apart from the money that you had, what other resources did you have at your disposal that made your work possible?
The actors were the main thing. The actors, everybody kept coming up. I mean, there were scenes that just came up, and I'll be like, somebody will buzz me and like, I see you're making a film. I want to act. And I'll say, oh, nice. Okay, we'll have a scene for you tomorrow. Come around. And the person does not know what she's coming to do.
Wow.
You've been in the film. You must have seen the scene with the prayer lady.
Yes.
The visionaire.
Yes.
Yeah, that was very, very much improvised. That was like the last thing we shot in the film. The last day. I mean, she just came and said she wants to be in the film. I said, okay, bring your white clothes, bring your Bible if you have one. Let's shoot it. And then we just shot it and added it to the film.
Wow. Like the more I hear about your process, the more terrified I am of doing something like this, because I'm kind of a person who likes to prepare everything to the last detail. You know, but I do think that for someone like me, it might actually be a good challenge to try to make a film like this, even if it's just a short film.
Yeah. I mean, it's something everyone should try. I mean, I have a film I want to shoot next, and it's not going to be like this. I'm not really a fan of tripods.
Aha.
So I always want to be on the move.
Wow.
You know, sometimes when I feel it's becoming too boring when you're just still.
Really? And I'm a tripod person. I'm like this guy. I'm a big fan of Yasujiro Ozu. Just keep everything on sticks all through.
Yeah, so but it depends on the film you're making. I mean, if it works, I mean, we didn't change lens in this Gbenga hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't change lens. We didn't. There was nothing short of stick.
What lens did you use?
We used a 35.
Uh-huh.
All right, fantastic. So, I mean, looking at the film, the results, everything, the experience, what do you think you could have done better to prepare for the film better? Do you think there was anything you could have done?
I think if just like if I begin to, if I'm to critique the film, I mean, there's so much to say, but there's not much to say about the. I don't think I'll have much to say about technicals, because this film is like you're setting yourself up already. You're critiquing yourself already as you go on, as you go along.
Mm-hmm.
So if you talk about the sound, say I'll tell you that's the intention. It's intentional. If you say the cinematography, I'll tell you it's intentional. If you say the editing, I'll tell you it's intentional. So there's no angle you go, because from the onset we've told ourselves that this is what we want to do, bad or good, we'll shoot, we'll keep going, because that's the agenda.
Yeah.
So if I'm to do anything different, it will probably be to be able to acquire some songs that I want.
I was going to talk about
yes, I have some particular sounds that are not in the one you saw.
Okay.
We're trying to get rights for them, you know, but it's been hard because they're very old songs. They're very, very old songs. You can't really hear it again, per se.
I see. Meanwhile, the songs that that you do have on there, how did you get them? Like, how did you get the music?
They are from friends.
Oh, I see.
Mostly three. The second one is a general Igbo traditional song. So, yeah.
I mean, the music that's there, I don't know which songs you want to add. I'm sure they are banging and everything, but I like what is there already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
you're welcome. Meanwhile, what do you think was your biggest mistake when you were making this particular film? Any regrets at all?
Yes, that was a regret. There was a scene we were supposed to shoot. So I told, no, something happened. The woman was parked in front of us, and she was the cast and crew are trying to help her push her car. And then I told the cameraman the DP to roll. Then I asked the main character to join them to push the car, and we kept rolling. And then the scene ended. Ooh, nice one, guys, we got it. And then we realized that the DP was not rolling.
Oh my God.
I can't forget that.
Oh my God. Wow.
We lost some files. So I had to reshoot some scene.
Wow.
Yeah, you just realize after I've said cut and everything.
Oh man.
You begin to think of, I had to reshoot a scene that was really, I had to reshoot some scenes. And at that time, well, I'm giving out some spoilers already. At the time, the main cast, he had, that's a reason, he had his hair was not as full as it was in some scenes, but we tried to hide it as much as we could.
To be honest, I didn't notice.
Of course, he had more beers in some scenes, but we found a way to hide it.
I'm going to watch again. I'll see if I can pick up all those things.
The NSAS scenes that you see in the film.
I was going to ask about yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, the NSAS scenes were clips that are shot during the NSAS period. So I just added that.
And
it worked to the film.
Worked so well. I was wondering, was the NSAS thing an inspiration for the film? Was it I was really curious about that.
The funny thing with Mr. Gbenga Hard Drive is, I had before when I wrote it, we didn't have this protest. There was no answers. And the film more or less predicted some certain things.
Yeah.
In the monologue, in the narration, in the opening narration, when it first talked about the virus in the air. It talked about people killing politicians, and maybe that one also happens. But, killing politicians, and people have taken to the streets. People are angry. People have taken back power. And so it unpacks a lot, and I mean, and it even talked about 2020 when I wrote it there. It was still the same thing. It was Vision 2020 that was in mind, and because it's a year that we've all waited for.
Yeah.
Vision 2020, and here it is, and this is what happened. I mean, this is what happened. So 2020 is actually a great time to live in, really. Despite the challenges, it's a great time to live in.
No,
2021 is ending. 2021 is ending. We're forgetting about 2020.
Yeah, so we have.
So maybe this thing will remind us about 2020.
Yeah, it definitely will. I'm curious about how you work out improv. How do you do that with the actors? What's your process like? Can you give us an?
Oh yes, I'm a fan of improv. I've been on some improv shows. There was one that ran for some episodes. We had like a live audience, and it was improv, and you're getting instant feedback, whether it's funny or not. So I'm editing on the go. Not like I'm editing the script, I'm editing on the go. And I also edit the film, so I'm editing on the go. So I'm chopping. I'm saying, no, don't say that. Your character won't say that. Say this. Okay, don't say that. Okay, nice. Move on. So it was a continuous workout like that with all the actors, and some scenes. You'll see some scenes where some characters are even about to laugh, like they laugh actually. So we left all those things there, because I found them very natural, like very playful. I mean, that's the actor playing. So why not enjoy it? There are a lot of boom shots that entered that we had to chop out in editing, because sometimes you don't know when. So you don't know when the cameraman is zooming in or zooming out, and then you're in shot. But then the someone is also smart to play around, not know. It was little. So everybody was just putting in the work, and we just kept going. Every scene, we just kept going. And I think descriptions usually help understanding the scene. Without, some people just write. When you just, since the writer does not tell you what the scene is about, he just probably writes it, and then you have to get what the meaning is.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where the core is. When you can describe it, you can know what the scene is, then it is easy for anybody, even the DP or anybody playing, to understand the frame in which you're playing, and then they will know what you're looking out for. So everybody will be in their game. The DP will know that I know when to zoom in to get this reaction. I know when this actor has known that the camera has zoomed in. Sometimes as actors, I actually know when the camera has zoomed in.
Wow.
You actually know, because you feel it, and you know when the cameraman has panned away from you. Exactly, to know when to probably rearrange yourself and get back.
Yeah.
And you have to take it in one take. So all these things are things that actors naturally, with experience, have to know. So it's really tough, smart work.
Yes.
For everybody.
Yes.
So it keeps you on the go. It keeps you on the go.
Definitely.
The last one I shot. The last film I shot. At the point, I didn't even know what the ending was going to be.
Wow.
I didn't know what it was going to be. I was asking everybody, guys, what do you think this ending should be? What are we doing in this scene? What do we do? And everybody just come up with their own thoughts. I thought, okay, now let's buy that idea. That's fine. Let's go. Let's shoot it. Let's say it comes out. And
How
that's how we
many
just
endings
kept.
did you shoot?
Yeah?
How many endings did you shoot?
I shot just one.
Okay, you picked one.
Yeah, I just shot just one.
Yes, I mean,
So yeah.
if I were in that position, I feel like I would shoot more than one ending if I could.
Well, I already have the way I shoot it is quite funny because I'm editing it, so I already know what I can use as ending. I can already know, so I'll just shoot some things. I shoot a lot of extra footage sometimes
Makes sense.
to add up some to just play around with just in case. So there are not even 3, there will be 4 possible endings. I can take it back to the beginning and say, oh yeah, I can put the first scene back or the end scene back in the beginning and play around it like that. It will be to mean something else.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I feel if a film is well shot, there's no way you would have shot that possible ending. You would have shot it. There's no way. Yeah. That's if it's not parlor film. You know parlor film now. You just do medium wide close up and reverse. Everybody don't go up.
Yeah. So I'm curious, in your 15, I'm wondering what your script looked like. Is it that there are some scenes that had zero dialogue and were just maybe one-liners or descriptions or something?
Yeah. Some scenes, 1 or 2 scenes had lines written out. Yes, one or 2 scenes had lines written from the old script because I already written the short film as a script. I wrote the script for the short film, so I just added that, and then from the other one, so we had some scenes that were written, but of course they were very well changed. And sometimes when you get to location, your film changes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, I like this style because when you think about feature film, especially if you have to do everything like writing it and editing it, you're thinking of how much work and time is going to go into the script and then shooting it and then post-production. But this style, it's very tempting, I must say.
I mean, especially for young filmmakers, yes. I believe it's also like a statement to them, an offering. Yes. An offering to them. Say, you guys are waiting for 1 million naira, 3 million naira, 5 million naira. I mean, and you want to make film. How much will you make from the 5 million naira film that you make? How much will you make from the? So I've been trained in theater to do less is more. To minimalist approach, to go with the minimalist approach. And I did most of I directed Hamlet in my 3rd year. And it was very minimal, very, very, very minimal. And it was more about the performance than what you're seeing. So you probably play with an empty stage and still give a good performance, and play with all the sets in the world, and you see with the same thing once the performance is good.
Once the performance is good, that's what pulls people in.
Exactly. So many young filmmakers don't know this. They just want, let me go and carry one big camera. Let me do this one, bring this one, and pay this one thousands of naira, and drone and fly drone, and without forgetting the story. The script is just lying there, looking at you, saying, "Hey, like just shoot me, man. I'm right here. Shoot me."
Yeah.
Shoot me.
Yeah.
So we're telling filmmakers that your film is not just one thing. Film is not just about carrying those big cameras and setting up in parlor and setting a ray of light to hit this one space and hit that one space. No, you can still make film that way, but why can't you make film this way? So it's an alternative. Like you can still tell your story this way, even with your camera phone. You can still shoot a feature film. You can do it. Why wait till somebody puts up their gen, because you're wasting time before you can roll and or shoot. So it's a lot that young filmmakers are. I see people making short films with 3 million, 5 million. Like, did you guys get money from somewhere? Like, who's funding you?
Obviously.
And yeah, even if they, but why? Like, and when you see the films, they're not. I respect someone like Tolu Ajayi, who I hear makes big budgets short films.
Yeah.
But I mean, the result is always clear, and you know the sponsors, or why he's making that film, probably for propaganda or anything or otherwise. Obviously paid for. So yeah, you look at those things and say, do I want to match up to these persons? Can I match up? Are you sure? So just make the film as it's anything. We'll accept it as long as you told the story that's good, something we can relate with. So yeah.
So I know Mr. Gbenga's hard drive right now is doing the festival rounds. Yes.
Yes. We are pushing it for festivals, and I'm still trying to do some home previews and screenings. Just to show the film around.
I was wondering what you had in mind for distribution.
Well, for distribution, we're looking at some online platforms anyway, and really just keeping fingers crossed.
Yeah.
My producer will take care of that.
Honestly,
I really like to just keep my hands clear of those things too much, because I like to follow it, but I mean, let me just do my film. Okay, you can sell it, you can do something about it, right? And we're just working together. But let me just make my film.
Yeah, I get that. But honestly, I hope it's a film that a lot of people get to watch. To be honest, I can see it on an Africa Magic. Like, I wish it's a film that could get to an Africa Magic, because the messages in there, there are messages I think that lots of Nigerians, should see, and it's a style that I think that people should, get more accustomed to and everything. Like, it's a regular, it's not the regular, it's the regular and it's not the regular. Regular in the sense that, we're seeing all the low budget stuff and everything, but then it's still very engaging from start to finish. Not like a film, not like the typical film that you see that it starts with one story and then in the middle you're wondering, are we still in the same film? So yeah.
Yes.
You have made something really wonderful, really. And even if the average audience doesn't see it, every Nigerian filmmaker, I think, should see this, especially people who are new in the film space. To be honest, I found it very inspiring, and I'm thinking a lot about how I can actually just get out there and make another feature film, even though I had like a proper budget for my first film and the producer and everything. Like, just going out and doing something of my own, because I feel like I won't properly be able to tell the stories I want to tell, if I'm not the one producing my thing myself.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you for making the film.
Thank you for watching. Thank you. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, and of course, thank you for joining me on the podcast.
Yeah, I enjoy this. I think this is my first podcast.
Oh, really? Wow, that's good.
Yes. So yeah, it's I'm getting used to the technology.
Yeah. All right then.
So, what do you think? Are you inspired to jump right into it and make a film the CM way? CM is Chukwu Martin, by the way. I know his style is definitely not for everybody, but if you're adventurous, I dare you to give it a shot. Thank you for listening. Before you go, please take a screenshot of this podcast and share it on your Instagram stories, Facebook stories, share the link on Twitter, share with your friends and family who are filmmakers or aspiring filmmakers. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. We hope to see you on Instagram. Our handle is @theafricanfilmmaker. If you'd like to connect with me, my handle is @Korayday, that is KORAYDAY. Tweet at me and let me know what you thought of this episode. My Twitter handle is @IamKorayday. Connect with Martin on Instagram. His handle is @Chukwu Martin. Links to his work will be in the show notes. I recommend you watch Altar Boys, by the way. Until the next episode, toodles!